are people who walk alone in their advocacies, and there are those who share the same cause as a family. Attorney Melvin Mendoza, past governor of the Kiwanis Philippine Luzon District and a proud Kiwanian of KC Cainta Vista Verde for 37 years, is one of them. With his wife and children, also Kiwanians, their family is united by a passion for serving children and communities. Today, Gov. Melvin shares his club's meaningful projects, his most memorable experiences in service, and his inspiring leadership journey in Kiwanis. I'm Rochelle Rubio, and this is The Advocates, Empowering Voices. Serving the children of the world. These words are more than just a motto for Kiwanis International. Established in 1915 in Detroit, Michigan, Kiwanis has grown into a global movement, uniting thousands of clubs worldwide under one mission: to improve the world one child and one community at a time. In the Philippine Luzon District, one of its most dedicated leaders is past Governor Melvin Mendoza of the Kiwanis Club of Cainta Vista Verde. A Kiwanian for nearly 4 decades, Gov. Melvin has become a familiar presence at service projects and events, dedicating his life's work to championing the welfare of children.
I can only reiterate the motto of Kiwanis, serving the children of the world. So we look after the welfare of children in terms of health, education, values formation, their well-being. That's what Kiwanis is all about. I have been a member of the Kiwanis Club of Cainta Vista Verde for the past 37 years. Nag-umpisa ito barkadahan. There were guys who were members of the club ahead of me, 1 year ahead. Okay, and they were my friends, and I got to know them more, through the usual inuman, karaoke, mga ganyan. And we grew up in a community. We lived in a community, subdivision yan eh. So most people know each other. Our kids played together. We were godfathers to each other. And they were members of Kiwanis already. And little by little, they would invite me to some activities. And I got to like it. So it developed from there. And of course, before you join the organization, they'll tell you what it's all about, what do they do. And it so happened that I loved it. I liked what they were doing. So wholeheartedly, I joined them.
Alongside his own journey of service, Gov. Melvin looks back on the evolution of Division 3C, how it has diversified over the years, eventually forming 2 agrupations, Division 3C and Division 3C1. From just 12 divisions in the early years, the Philippine Luzon District has now expanded to 26, reflecting the steady growth of Kiwanis in the country.
It took me a while. Siguro they noticed that parang hindi naman passive member. I still joined them in meetings and everything, in projects. But medyo masipag ako. And then they would rely on me to write letters, write-ups for magazines, mga ganyan. Eh, syempre, as a lawyer, parang I have a slight advantage over the others. And through communications, okay, I would represent them in some activities with other clubs. So, pumunta na ron. And my first initiation was, I became a member of the board. Okay. They noticed, and I really liked it naman, what I was doing. From a member of the board, I became a president. So, as president, I got to lead the club. And more importantly, alam mo naman, from a club, you are a member of a division. Meaning a division consists of other clubs within the area. So, lumawak yung aking, yung ginagalawan ko sa mundo ng Kiwanis. I got to know members from other clubs within Cainta, of course, because that's where the subdivision is located. I got to know people from Green Park because Green Park was parang the one who organized our club in Vista Verde. Within the division, they saw that I was active. Hindi naman ako magaling, marunong lang. I knew my way around. So, yun, until I became a Lieutenant Governor of Division. 3C pa noon yan eh. The whole of Rizal yan eh. We had more than 20 clubs at that time. Na-divide lang yung 3C into two divisions. Now we have a smaller aggregation of 8 clubs. Okay? So as Lieutenant Governor, again lumaki. Again yung jurisdiction ko rather. The world where I was I was involved in civic activities became wider. How is that? Siyempre, as a Lieutenant Governor, you would attend Board of Trustees meetings. Okay? Dito kasama mo naman yung Lieutenant Governors from other divisions all over Luzon. Okay? At that time, in the earlier years, we only had 12 divisions all over Luzon. Now, imagine we have 26.
As his network within Kiwanis grew, new doors opened for Gov. Melvin, leading him to take on higher roles and greater responsibilities in the organization.
I became involved in district activities, so from club to division to district activities. So I became known not only in Rizal, not only within my club, within the province of Rizal, then later on, buong Luzon na, because we have lieutenant governors from the north, Ilocos Norte, all the way up to Bicol, up to Palawan. Imagine that. I had a slight advantage in terms of communication, in terms of understanding these things as they are, lalo na when it comes to Kiwanis education. Naintindihan ko lahat yun. I got special training. And then even on governance documents, bylaws, mga policies and procedures, doon na-develop. And I like what I was doing. And I would suppose that they liked what I was doing until eventually some people told me, hey, siguro it's about time that you become a governor of the Philippine Luzon district. You can serve in a higher level of authority and mas marami kang matutulungan.
His leadership journey soon extended beyond the Philippines, as Kiwanis, being a global volunteer organization, connects clubs from around the world through various international events and collaborations.
If I may add, it did not stop there. You have to deal with the governors from other countries. Right after my election as the governor-elect muna yan eh. So you're elected as a governor-elect. After 1 year, you become the governor. Okay. So as governor-elect, may training kami sa headquarters ng Kiwanis in Indianapolis. And then, again, I had a wider area of, where I was involved as a Kiwanian. I got to meet governors from 55 countries then. Okay? And then, aside from those governors, meron pang mga areas who are not yet qualified to have governors, but they have nations representatives. So, more than 80 yung mga kadil ko ngayon. So, that's where, kung minsan manliliit ka dahil akala mo magaling ka na, yung pala, mas maraming magagaling pa sa'yo. Akala mo, alam mo na lahat, yung pala, kukunti lang yung kaalaman mo. So, you have to keep on learning.
It's rare to see an entire family united by the same advocacy. But for Gov. Melvin and his family, service is a shared way of life. His wife and children are all Kiwanians, actively involved in the organization's volunteer work. His wife, Lady Lani of KC Cainta Hope, is herself a respected leader in the organization. Inspired by her husband's dedication, she eventually decided to join Kiwanis, embracing the causes he had long championed.
She was indifferent noong una kasi barkadahan, inuman na naman yan, puro mga lakad na mga boys na naman yan. In the meantime, yung mga spouses ng other members namin, nagsama-sama rin sila. Okay? But they were not Kiwanians. They were called Kiwanets, spouses of Kiwanians. Okay? So until I became a lieutenant governor, suporta si Mrs. suporta yung mga kids. As Lieutenant Governor, anyway, within Kaintalang naman yan, within the province of Rizal. So, hindi pa siya masyadong interested in joining our activities. Of course, we had formal occasions like my induction, installation, or of officers or members. She would join me, but they were parang guests lang sila doon sa activity. During meetings, pag may pinag-uusapan kami, pinapakialaman na kami. Oh, nung huli, naka-formal attire kayo ng coat and tie, dapat pagbarong na kayo. O mas maganda yung venue kayo pumunta instead of, the usual place where we would meet. So, pag may, kung ano yung susuot or whatever, pinapakialaman na. You have to mix with people. You have to reach out and meet people if you want to get across and sell your product or an idea that you want to propagate. So, hindi pa masyado as Lieutenant Governor. But when I was running as Governor-elect and I had to move around, she noticed yung mga kwentuhan namin when we would have meetings after those sorties. Mukhang interesting yan Nakakapamasyal pa kayo. Sabi niya, so she wanted to join me. Baka naman nag-iisip ka lang na nag-chichicks ako. She joined me and she liked it. What she saw was parang, hey, this is also what I've been looking for. Parang ganon, no? And then marami na siyang naging kaibigan, lalo sa female membership ng Kiwanis. By the way, dito sa Pilipinas or in Luzon, yung area natin, there are more female members than males.
The rise of female membership. Kiwanis International began as an all-male organization, but in 1987, the International Convention approved the inclusion of women, marking a historic step toward greater diversity and inclusivity within the movement.
The trend now is worldwide. Parang dumadami na talaga yung female members. To think that female members were admitted into Kiwanis only in 1987. We are now on our 111th year. Okay, as Kiwanis. If I may add, one of the things that made me join Kiwanis, when I learned that it was founded in 1915, it's been there for so many years already. So parang the fact na nagtagal siya ng ganong katagal, ibig sabihin, it is successful. People are always interested to join. Okay, members of course come and go. May mawawala, may madadagdag. Sabi ko, malaking bagay ito kasi matanda ng organization and siguro gusto nga ng tao yung ginagawa nila. And then maraming may gusto, nakikinabang lalo yung mga bata sa ginagawa ng Kiwanis.
Kiwanis clubs are known for their service and signature projects that uplift children and communities. For KC Cainta Vista Verde, two initiatives stand out for their lasting impact. Gov Melvin recalls their outreach project in a remote community in Tanay Rizal, a journey that tested their endurance and dedication. The team had to travel through rough, winding roads and cross rivers just to reach families living in isolation. Yet, every hardship was worth it, as they brought hope and essential aid to the children they served. They also partnered with the charitable institution Sleeping Children around the world to distribute sleeping kits, giving comfort and care to those who needed it most.
We help people up there in the uplands of Rizal. May mga natives pa riyan eh. Okay? Sabi nila Ita or the others pag napupunta na sa lowlands, nagiging mga remontados, they intermarry with lowlanders. Pero we are more interested in those who live up there in the mountains. Particularly here in Tanay, there's a place there. Maikli lang yung going up. Siyempre malayo mo na yung travel, then you go up, no? But you have to crisscross a river. Rocky, boulders lahat yun, using 4x4 vehicles. You have to crisscross it more than a dozen times. And very slow ang travel, like a 5-kilometer destination. it will take you 2 hours. We bring food, we bring clothing, we bring educational materials, we bring livelihood ang ginagamit nila sa pagsasaka. Yun, and they like it, okay? Kasi although there are other organizations that go up there, kami, we want to make it a regular thing, okay? And you know why it is enjoyable? Kasi pagpunta namin doon sa community nila sa taas, nearby, may waterfalls. Okay? And so we take a dip. Malamig yung tubig, very clear, and yung unang target namin was for 30 families. But there were other communities nearby. When they learned about, our presence there and marami kami dinadala. Nako, dumami na ng dumami. So, batch by batch na lang yung dinadala namin. I'd like to add one more, something that we've been doing for a very long time already. We used to do this before with a different group, pero limited lang yung participation namin. Now it's fully our responsibility. You may have heard about this. I refer to sleeping children around the world. SCAW or SCAW, kung tawagin namin. Okay, SCAW is a Canadian organization that, it gets donations from people all over Canada or probably even outside. It was founded by Mr. Murray Dryden. Okay, so in one of his overseas travels, nakita niya na maraming mga batang walang proper sleeping conditions, sleeping in the streets or even in their homes, but there were not enough sleeping, not a good sleeping environment. Yan, parang ganyan. So he dreamt of providing them with sleeping kits. Okay, so yan, sleeping kits. So with the donations that they raise, that they gather, nakikipag-ugnayan sila sa mga ibang organizations like Kiwanis. Okay, so since last year, okay, we formed the corporation kasi gusto nila transparent lahat ng kilos mo eh. They would send funds to us, but everything should be transparent, properly receipted, properly coordinated and everything. Ang role namin, ibibigay nila sa amin yung pondo, and then we have guidelines on what will be the contents of the sleeping kits or bed kits. Okay? So may mga sleeping mats, may kumot, may kulambo, may unan, towels, everything. May mga pajama sets, educational materials, sleepers, backpacks, yung gusto ng mga bata. And we take care of the purchasing and distribution. And we do this all over, okay? Siyempre, we have been as far as Ilocos Norte, as far as Bicol. But not all places can be accommodated. Kasi whenever we have this distribution thing, there is a group of Canadians, 5 or 6 of them, who come over, who oversee. And actually, sila mismo yung gusto mag-abot ng mga sleeping kits. Okay? And every year, average of 5,000, 6,000 sleeping kits are distributed by our group. And they promise that we will do that, as much as possible on a year-to-year basis. In fact, this year, 2 beses na kami. Iba yung feeling mo when you see children receiving these bed kits. Of course, their parents are with them. And then they would open their kits and nakikita nila, naku, ang mahal nito. Oh, naku, wala kaming ganito and everything. So, we like doing it. Okay, we identify beneficiaries, we identify the locations, and that's as simple as that. Pero matrabaho. You have to travel. Okay, we pay for our own expenses, Kasi lahat ng donations that come from Canada will have to be spent for the contents of the bed kit. Okay, transportation, hotel, everything. So, kanya-kanya na yan. Yun yung counterpart contribution namin. And of course, it medyo expensive, but if you like what you're doing, you'll get out of your way to set aside certain funds from your personal resources, no, and then just accomplish your objective of, in the end, helping children, serving children.
For Kiwanians around the world, October marks the start of the Kiwanis New Year. Gov Melvin shares what this tradition means for members and leaders alike.
Starts on October 1, only because that's the start of our administrative year. Okay, that's when the new officers come in. That's where you plan for the year ahead. It ends on September 30. Yun ang cycle namin eh. Pagdating ng October 1, everybody greets Happy Kiwanis Year.
One of Gov Melvin's most remarkable and memorable experiences took place many years ago during the annual Kiwanis Special Games, where children with disabilities take part in a mini Olympics. He vividly recalls a race where he served as a marshal.
Our club has been supporting a project of another club, yung Kiwanis Club of Kalayaan. They have this yearly special games for children with disabilities. So special games yan. Win or lose, binibigyan namin ng medalya yung mga participants. May gold medal, kahit hindi nanalo, may gold, may silver, may bronze. So, iba yung feeling nila, no? So, I think we've been doing this for more than 30 years. Ang main proponent ng project na ito is another club, Kiwanis Club of Kalayaan. So we support them together with other Kiwanis clubs. So one of the memorable things na hindi ko makalimutan, kasi may competition like may race, may 50-meter race, And I was one of the marshals at that time. This happened, 15, 20 years ago, noong una pa. So, nagtakbuhan sila. Midway, nadapa yung nauna. So, na-overtaken siya nung pangalawa. And when the second one passed by this, yung nadapa, binalikan niya at tinulungan niyang pumunta sa finish line. So, parang akala ko nasa movies lang yun eh. Di ba? But they have this sense of helping yung mga kaibigan nila, mga batchmates nila. So sabi ko, that's one of the things why na memories ko kung bakit, I keep on doing this almost every year. They usually do it January or February.
They also reached out to abandoned and orphaned children at Boys Town in Marikina, offering care and support to those who needed it most.
May tatlong section yan. Boys Town is located in Marikina, but it's operated by the city government of Manila, funded by the city government of Manila. So may section doon yung mga abandoned children, 1 year, 2 years, hanggang 4 or 5 years. Okay? Konti lang naman yun. I think there are about 20, 30 of them nung pumunta kami the last time. Second group, the biggest group, is for parang mga teenagers or yung mga 7 years old up to mga 12 years old na hindi pa teenagers rather. Okay? And then there's another section there para sa mga parang home for the aged. Okay? Nandiyon na sa loob ng Boys Town in Marikina. So we visited them. Ang nakakaano doon, pag na-realize mo, lalo doon sa first section ng mga batang pastid pa, abandoned children, they grew up not knowing what a mother, na kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng mother sa buhay nila. Normally, when you see in a family, pag may nararamdaman yung bata, mama, di ba? They don't know that. Kasi inabandon na sila ng mga magulang nila o ng mother nila kasi mother ang may dala sa mga bata eh. So, hindi nila alam yun. When something happens, they need something, they go to the nurse or they go to the caretaker, caregiver, kung sino yung nando doon. So, if you realize that, these people need a lot of help. They don't know what a mother or a father is in their lives. If you get to realize the situation of these kids, talaga maawa ka. And if naawa ka, you will realize that you have to do something. At least, the very least that we can do is provide them with something. That's what we do. Yun, inumpisahan yun ng mga mag-asawang members ng Kiwanis and others followed suit.
Boys Town, as it turns out, isn't just a refuge for young or teenage boys. It also has become a home for abandoned elderly individuals.
Let's go to the third section, yung mga matatanda naman. Again, ito na yung wala na rin mauwian. Okay? Yung iba talagang senile na, they don't understand what they're doing. And to tell you frankly, ang baho pa ng mga tinitira nila. We provide food, and ang gustong-gusto nila, after everything is said and done, merong program. They will always prepare a program for us, and then they will ask us to join them in dancing. Nako, may mga makukulit. Kung alam mo na kung ano yung sayaw ng, you know yung sayaw dati ng Maski Pops, have you heard that? Maski Pops, ibig sabihin, maski pa paano. They enjoy every moment of it, and then they will thank you. Okay, and pag nakita mo yon, masaya sila, and then pinapasalamatan ka, yung self-fulfillment ba? Okay, iba yung feeling mo. So, I think that's really part of human nature. Eh. You know, when you see somebody needs help and then you provide help, even in the smallest of, based on your ability to help, yung kung ano lang yung kaya mo. But the moment that you see that you make a difference, in their lives, maring hindi namin ginagawa as regular as possible, but whenever you're there and then they expect you to do this, give them that and everything. Iba yung feeling. That will make you come back again. Kasi marirealize mo, uy, sayang, hindi ko napagbigyan lahat. So, babalik uli ako, ito naman ang dadalhin ko.
There's no greater reward than seeing the difference you've made in someone's life. The sense of fulfillment from helping others is beyond measure, deep, lasting, and truly priceless.
I think that's the secret of yung serving others, and then especially because of Kiwanis, children ang focus natin.
Aside from local projects, what are some of the key events and celebrations that Kiwanis members worldwide look forward to each year?
By January, the third week of January, we celebrate what we call Kiwanis Week. Kasi the Kiwanis was founded on January 21, 1915. So that period is dedicated to Kiwanis Week. It starts on a Sunday, flag raising ceremony sa Luneta. The rest of the week, we have sports activities, we have service projects. It culminates on what we call yung Kiwanis Night. Kiwanis Night, ito yung sosyalan. Kiwanis Night, garbo lahat yan. Ladies in their best attire, evening gowns, cocktail dress, men in barong or coat and tie.
Kiwanis is more than just serving the community. It also fosters a culture of fun, camaraderie, and lasting friendships. Gov Melvin shares his favorite among the 6 objects of Kiwanis.
Yung 5th object is the one that's very important to me. And I keep on espousing this whenever I have the opportunity to speak or to lecture sa Kiwanis education. 5th object, what does it say? To provide, through Kiwanis clubs, a practical means to form enduring friendships. Take note of that, friendships. Okay. Number 2, to render altruistic service. Service, yung nga yung serving the children of the world, is helping people in need. Altruistic service, yun nga yung you help somebody, you do something without expecting anything in return. Yun ang altruistic. Okay? So, enduring friendships, render altruistic service, and build better communities. Tulong-tulong yan. Friendships, that's why we have fellowships. Okay? May Kiwanis Night, yung culmination yan towards the end of the year by September, meron yung what we call the annual convention where we elect yung district officers, governor, treasurer, ganyan. But after that, yun ang pangalawang fellowship night. Again, formalan na naman to. We have bands, the best attire. Alam mo naman ng mga Pilipino, selfie dito, selfie doon, kahit may nagsasalita, nagpipicture-picture, hindi nakikinig. Yung things like that. Lots of drinks, lots of music. We enjoy those 2 events, January and September.
The challenges that Kiwanis clubs face in keeping their members interested and in making them stay.
You know, you're supposed to have monthly meetings. Not everyone attends. Let's say you have a group of 30, 40 members. Nag-attend, wala pang kalahati. Okay? But now we have the advantage of having chat groups, Messenger, Viber groups. So whatever is nangyayari is happening. Even if you don't attend, you get to know what's going on. But iba yung physical presence eh. Okay? Siguro nababurnout na yung iba. Meeting na naman eh, may lakad ako. You know, and it depends on your age. If you're young, you're 30-ish, you have a family, mas trabaho eh. You have to take care of your family, your work, your career. So as you age, medyo lumuluwag yung schedule mo, you know, then you have more time. Okay, that's how it is. So one of the challenges is how to get people to join you in a meeting or in service projects. Kasi that's what we all promise to do. Serving the children of the world. How can you do that if you're not joining us in our meetings and our activities? In our club, we have this parang ano eh. We're fortunate enough that the members are well-to-do. Hindi naman yung mayaman gaya ng mga flood contractors na yan. Hindi naman ganon. Many of us, we can afford rather, you know, to do the extra mile. What we used to do in our younger years, pag may birthday celebrant, kahit hindi ka niimbitahan, pupuntahan namin sa bahayan. Magbo-blow out yan. Of course, most of the time, in advance, pinapaalam namin. So that's one way of yung keeping yung relationships closer. Okay. Kahit birthday ng bata, Kiwanis pa rin. May children's party pero nandito yung mga parents na tagumpukan dyan. Okay, so that's one. Okay, we go to the houses of the celebrants. Okay, or we meet not in a public place, but we meet in the houses of the members. Iniikot namin yan. So whether you like it or not, you will get involved in.
Many of their projects are personally funded by members, but when it comes to big-ticket initiatives, they turn to creative fundraisers, like golf tournaments, to make them possible.
Ito yung problema ng karamihang clubs. You have to do something. You have to have a service project. Di ba? Fundraising, yan ang pag-uumpisahan yan. How can you do something if you do not have the funds? Most of the time, in our case, dahil medyo kaya nga, from our own pockets, kaya. But yung mga big-time projects, we have to have major fundraising activities. Okay? So, kay Inta Vista Verde, ang major fundraising activity namin is a golf tournament. Okay? Malaki na ipapasok na pera. Doon namin kinukuha yung pondo para sa projects. We can't use those funds for payment of our dues. Kailangan, bawal yun. Masama yun. Doon nang gagaling. That's why we have marami kaming big-time projects. Okay? That's why we go as far as yung nga, sabi ko, sa mountains of Rizal. We go all over to distribute sleeping kits on our personal expense. Malaking expense din yan.
If he was given the power and resources to fulfill one dream for underprivileged children, what would it be and why?
You know, whenever you're not doing anything, nangangarap ka eh. Di ba? Nag-iisip ka, ano ba yung pwedeng mangyari, ano yung pwedeng gawin and everything. You know? And you see the situation of people, especially children, families. You know, ang talagang palaging pumapasok sa isip ko, housing. Housing, a lot of people are homeless or a lot of people live in shanties. You know, there was one project that I did, naging personal ko pa nga yan eh. It started as a club project nung governor ako. Malaking sunog sa Tondo in Manila. Mga shanties yun eh. So we went there, we helped, we brought a lot of things. Pero nung pinuntahan namin yung communities, naku, hindi ka magtatagal. Yung loob ng bahay, yung mga hindi nasunog, may amoy. Maliit, everything is there, tulugan, kainan, living room and everything. Isang ano lang. And, you know, when it rains, siyempre may tumutulo. yung lugar, yung nga, it stinks, but they're used to it kaya hindi na nila naamoy eh. Kung first timer ka, iba. Malamok, malangaw. So if you get to see their living conditions, iba yung feeling mo eh. So yun nga, nangyayari, nangangarap ka, sana matulungan ko magkaroon to ng bahay. Okay? A house of their own. And I don't like yung tenements. I don't like that kasi wala kang privacy. You have common halls, common stairs and everything. I'm dreaming of providing houses for individual families. Yung stand-alone, house and lot, may paligid yan where they can plant, they can, plant vegetables or raise chickens, yung mga ganon. Yun ang dream ko eh. But, it's a dream. I cannot afford to do that. Siguro one or two houses for selected families. Baka pwede, pero still, it's going to be a huge expense. Kaya it remains as a dream. And, you also pray that others will have the same idea and do something about it.
For this administrative year, KC Cainta Vista Verde aims to continue the service and signature projects they've started, carrying forward the same spirit of compassion and commitment. In addition, they remain ready to extend help to those affected by natural calamities, just as they have faithfully done in the past.
We will be duplicating what we've been doing in the previous years. Sabi ko, nandiyan ang SCO project, Sleeping Children Around the World. Nandiyan yung Going to the Mountains of Rizal. And whenever an occasion arises, yung earthquake victims in Cebu, although it's part of another district, hindi na Philippine Luzon yan. Here sa Philippines, there are two districts, Philippine Luzon, where we are, and Southern Philippines. Okay? So kahit na ibang districts yan, but may inter-district assistance yan. So we provide them funds. Bahala na sila. One thing that you will find also, parang, I recall, in the case of Yolanda that happened in 2014. Ayaw nila ng pera. Yung mga victims, ayaw nila. Why? There's nothing to buy. So you have to go there, physically deliver relief goods. Okay? So we do that often. Okay? We make our presence felt. Kasi those are the times when you have to do something. Di ba? Ayaw natin mangyayari yon, but they happen and we have to help. That's why in Kiwanis nga, even in our district, we have what we call a calamity fund. Okay, so it's precisely used for that purpose. But that's for the district-wide activity. Yung clubs, syempre kanya-kanya na yan.
Do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing. The saying reminds us to give quietly without seeking recognition. Gov Melvin agrees, but explains that in Kiwanis, transparency is equally important, since the organization raises funds, documenting activities through photos and videos helps ensure accountability. Sharing these stories, he adds, also lets people see what Kiwanis stands for and may inspire others to do the same.
Many people, di ba sabi nga nila, even in the church, when you do something, huwag mo na ipaalam sa iba. You just do something quietly, secretly, you help others. Kiwanis, may mga pictures yan may mga videos, di ba, para pinapakita yung ginagawa. Okay? It's not that we abhor, pero yung iba, guilty yan Pupunta sa service project, pero nagse-selfie. Hindi kinukuna yung mukha ng bata na natutuwa doon sa ginagawa mo. Yun ang gusto namin pictures We want our activities to be publicized so that people will know what we're doing. So that they will have an idea that we are helping others. So probably, they would like to do the same thing. So we want to encourage them to do the same thing. Especially for sponsors, pag meron kaming nahihinga ng mga tulong, yung mga nagdo-donate sa amin, we want to show them where their money goes. Okay, so sasabihin namin, we have a fundraising activity for scholarships. Okay, we have a fundraising activity for yung mga medical dental, ang dami nang gumagawa niyan. We do that to encourage people to help others. There's a saying, give until it hurts in helping others. throughout the years, you know something that I've learned? You give until it no longer hurts.
Give until it no longer hurts. Such a beautiful and powerful reminder that when giving comes from the heart, it ceases to be a burden and becomes a source of happiness. That's the real gift of kindness. Attorney Melvin Mendoza and his family of Kiwanians continue to inspire others through their unwavering spirit of service and compassion. I'm Rochelle Rubio. Join me again for another uplifting story on the next episode of The Advocates, Empowering Voices, only here on 104.3 The Capital.
This is where the voices of the voiceless are heard. The Advocates, Empowering Voices, hosted by Rochelle Rubio on 104.3 The Capital.